From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Welcome in. Happening now at 9. 2023 begins with cleanup around the Bay. Businesses hit with historic rain are dealing with the aftermath of that atmospheric river.
I've never been used to this much rain in this city. It was Jumanji. The complete floor looked like a forest floor.
New year, new Washington. How President Biden plans to work with the first divided Congress of his presidency and the challenges ahead for House Republicans. And a very special New Year's in the maternity ward. Meet the Bay Area couple whose baby was likely the first born this year. Very exciting. And the East Bay is making a special appearance during one of the nation's most watched events beginning the new year. So we'll tell you all about what this woman right here is presenting and representing at the 134th Annual Tournament of Roses Parade. But first, let's get straight to this morning's top stories. A lot to get to. This morning, Oakland police are searching for a shooter after a man was killed yesterday. Police tell us a man was shot and killed on International Boulevard just before 2:30. About an hour later, a second gunshot victim was brought to a hospital in the area. They say he was also shot near the first victim. The second victim is expected to survive. Former Pope Benedict XVI is lying in state at the Vatican's St. Peter's Basilica ahead of his funeral Thursday. Mourners are lining up to pay their respects. Benedict resigned in 2013 because of his poor health. He was the first pope in 600 years to step down instead of serving for life. For Catholics, he is a sign of humility and grace. He died Saturday at age 95. In an interview with CBS News' Face the Nation, Bank of America's chief U.S. economist, Michael Gapin, warned about the risk of recession this year, that it could be high. But he says it may not be a deep or prolonged one, and it could take 2 or 3 years before prices get back down to those pre-pandemic levels. The Fed Reserve raised interest rates 7 times in 2022 to slow record inflation levels.
Okay, daytime highs on Monday will be in the low to mid 50s. We'll have a little bit of rain come through as well right into the early afternoon. There's a well-organized line of showers that comes through and gives us about 1/4 of an inch of rain, maybe a little more. Tuesday, it looks like the showers are going to miss us to the north. There's a chance of rain on Tuesday, but it really doesn't look like much. Wednesday and Thursday is the much more impressive time frame, especially right here. That's Wednesday through the late afternoon and early evening when there's a very well-organized line of fairly moderate to heavy rainfall that once again moves across the Bay Area. This will be driven in by another atmospheric river, so that means that the rainfall intensities will be high enough that flooding will become a concern once again. It does not look like this system's going to have the same intensity of Saturday's, but it will have enough rain nonetheless that we're likely going to see rises on area streams and creeks. And of course, we're going to watch for the possibility of street flooding, minor localized street flooding once again. Should not be as intense as what we saw move across on Saturday, but we'll keep you updated as the system approaches.
All right, going off what Darren was just talking about, now to more on that mess caused by the heavy weekend rain. So to begin the new year, San Francisco businesses are dealing with the aftermath of this weekend's powerful storm. The scenes were dramatic. Fisherman's Wharf right here flooded. Some people were spotted floating down 14th Street. Others tried to scoot through the flooded road. But today, public works officials are asking for your patience. They have a lot of incidents, and they expect it will take them days to clean everything up. One person we spoke with who works for a tech company based in San Francisco told us he will be cleaning up well into February.
As soon as we walked in, we're like, were we robbed? Or was this the weather? Like, what's happening in here? And it's so surreal because you can see where the water line stops.
It has been very surreal to see everything that happened. And while tech companies have workers that can log in remotely, small businesses like Pink Onion right here do not have that option. The family-owned pizza and Italian restaurant was submerged in water. The storm wrecked virtually all of its equipment. And workers said while they reported the flooding to 311, no one from the city showed up to help.
We get rented the equipment to get out of the water, to clean all the grease, because a lot of grease from the street go into the restaurant. And then all the damage is so many.
Feliciano also told us after a holiday break, the Pink Onion was scheduled to open tomorrow, and that won't be the case anymore. A lot of revenue losses for a lot of businesses here. So taking you now to the Santa Cruz Mountains, where Caltrans closed a half-mile stretch of State Road 9. You can see exactly why from this. From North Santa Cruz to Glengarry Road in Felton. And this is because heavy rains this weekend caused a ton of mudslides. However, Caltrans has managed to reopen Highway 9 from Bear Creek Road to Riverdale Boulevard and Boulder Creek, with one-way traffic control crews still removing down trees and debris from the area. And the Bay Area has its share of damage after the storm, but as you can see here, what happened in the Central Valley near Sacramento was absolutely devastating. This is some drone video of a levee break, and that sent floodwaters rushing across Highway 99, a main artery through the Central Valley. Definitely a scary scene there. Vehicles, you can see right there, got stuck along 99. Even the ServPro truck that responds to disasters could not get through. People had to be pulled from the water and the roofs of their cars. One person died after being pulled from the water, and rescue crews just couldn't reach another driver in time. We've got more info on the storm damage and resources if you are dealing with flooding and damage on our website at kpix.com. Okay, so now to some changes you should be aware of. New state laws took effect this week, and one of them is the Freedom to Walk Act. It does not technically decriminalize crossing outside a crosswalk, but it does require police to look the other way unless there is, quote, immediate danger of a collision. If a pedestrian is hit while crossing, it will be up to police to determine who was at fault. In Santa Clara County, parking permit enforcement resumes today. The program was suspended during the pandemic, and now residents on more than 50 streets near Levi Stadium, public transit hubs, and other hotspots need to get or renew their permit. The program is meant to prevent people who don't live there from taking up all the space. Residential neighborhoods struggling with congestion can also petition the city council to be added to the permit program. Another law eliminates the so-called pink tax, banning companies from charging more for products advertised to women than they do for a, quote, substantially similar version for men. And a live look now at our nation's capital. And this year and this week, a new divided Congress will take over. House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy held a conference call with his caucus yesterday in an attempt to shore up his bid to become the next House Speaker. Meanwhile, President Biden says he's optimistic as he approaches his third year in the White House. Today, he returns and plans on promoting bipartisanship. So let's bring in Nicole D'Antonio reporting from Washington. Nicole, 2023 is definitely going to bring some changes.
It certainly is, Amanda, and with a new year comes a new Congress. And these next 24 hours, they will be critical for Kevin McCarthy as he tries to secure his position as Speaker of the House.
Republican leader Kevin McCarthy is wheeling and dealing in his bid to become the next Speaker of the House. He held a conference call with House Republicans Sunday, agreeing to changes in order to win enough support for the speakership. Those demands included the ability of any 5 members of the majority party to initiate a vote to remove the Speaker. He would also establish select committees to investigate President Biden's COVID and border policies and launch reviews of the FBI and DOJ's investigations into former President Trump and the January 6th riots.
I'm hopeful we can unite as a conference. We have a big battle ahead, try to get this country back on the right track.
Despite the concessions, it appears McCarthy is still short of the votes needed.
If 5 or 6 people hold out, all we're really doing is empowering the other side.
Even if McCarthy can secure the speakership, the GOP holds such a slim House majority it may be difficult to find consensus on his agenda moving forward.
He obviously is, if he gets 218 votes, has the ability to put together the votes to be the leader of the party, and he will then be tested as to whether or not he can lead.
McCarthy hasn't said how he plans to handle New York Congressman-elect George Santos, who has admitted much of the biography he presented to voters is false.
Certainly he has lied repeatedly. At the end of the day, though, this is a decision, whether he resigns or stays, that needs to be made between he and the voters who elected him.
Santos says he plans to be sworn in tomorrow and has pledged his support to Leader McCarthy. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now, so far, House leadership has not commented on Santos, but we do know he could still face ethics investigations once he's sworn in as a member of Congress. On Capitol Hill, Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Bay Area.
All right, Nicole, thanks so much. Well, right now in Southern California, it's the 134th annual Tournament of Roses parade. This is a live camera showing some of the parade route and some feet on the ground there, too. Now, here are brand new posts we found online of people at the event happening right now. I am so jealous of them. It began about an hour ago, and this year's theme, Turning the Corner, which represents the world emerging from the COVID-19 pandemic. A Bay Area woman will be front and center at this year's parade. She'll be on the Donate Life float. 38-year-old Goldie Williams, that's her right here. She has received a life-saving liver transplant at a San Francisco hospital in June. Since then, she's been raising awareness and urging others to sign up.
I look forward to helping getting organs to people that need them. Organ donation is really cool because it's a really human process. It's medically and scientifically based, but there's just humans behind it.
We love to share that message to help everybody know how meaningful it is.
It's the gift of life. It is so meaningful. The Donate Life float invited dozens of volunteers to witness the moment when their Chinese water dragon came to life. It's a symbol of lifting each other up, something organ and tissue donors do every day. Well, the new year means new laws and things are changing in Santa Clara County. The parking restrictions that could cost you in 2023. Plus, some people will be paid more in 2023. Stick with us to find out who.